We're gonna roll.
Are we podcasting?
We're podcasting.
There they go. The dogs start barking. So
the second nobody cares about anything you do until you want to do something you want to do.
That's true. But I was going to say that nobody cares about what you do until you post it on IMOMSOHARD. And then everybody's like, you have a mosquito guy? Ew, yuck.
Oh, is that what they were saying? What does that mean?
I don't know. Chemicals. I tell you what, though, my kids are getting eaten alive right now, and I don't want anybody in Zika or whatever that shit is.
I will literally roll around in something that glows and has a skull and crossbones, and so will my children. You know why? Because we are miserable because of the mosquitoes this year.
My daughter's whole back is like...
We are only talking about the pandemic and everything else terrible in the world, and the mosquitoes are going free. They're like, you guys, now's the time.
Somebody, you know who's killing the bees? Mosquitoes.
The mosquitoes.
I swear to God.
I feel like I'm that weirdo that has one sign and I'm on protest by myself. Like, what about the mosquitoes?
Yeah.
Everybody else is doing everything.
We're with you. I
hate it.
I
hate it. Like, and not only that, they're in our house. I'll see them and I'm like, when have we ever seen mosquitoes in our house?
Inside. They come into the bathroom. There's some in my shower. There's like a nest in my shower because they're everywhere. And for like me and Delilah, they scar us.
Same. My feet, my legs have what look like disgusting brown
my
bruises.
Ankles. I know. Everywhere. Look at this. They never go away.
Mine are so big. Look, I'm wearing long socks in the hottest time of year.
Kristin and I, we're showing each other our legs, but I swear to God, some of these are from 2016, Kristin.
This is...
Look at those.
Well, yeah, that's bad. But yeah, everybody has opinions about everything. And I think sometimes everybody can just remember that not every opinion needs to be heard, including mine. But I do feel like if you think we have mosquitoes and my daughter's allergic, I'm going to hire everybody.
Yeah.
I'm going to hire everybody.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
If I grow a horn out of my back, I'll deal with that then.
Also, it's just one thing at a time. I got one day at a time. I honestly I heard that getting rid of them also will cut down on like lizards.
Well, then that's a win for you.
I'll destroy the ecosystem of my home.
Just to because
I pay property taxes, and I will. Because
if I knew that lizards helped, I would have 1,000 in my bed.
I'll send them to you.
Do you see what I mean? Because I am so over it. It's killing me. Like, I want to go outside. Oh my God. Who am I? I want to go outside and play my guitar, Jen. Because I feel like if I practice in different climates, I'm going to get better. So I go outside and then I get murdered by mosquitoes. And then I'm bad. And then my neighbor who likes to complain hears me bad. And I'm like, well, I'm improving inside.
Yeah.
I'm not improving outside because the mosquitoes are fucking me up. So,
but it's West Nile. There are mosquitoes.
Yes, my aunt got West Nile from a mosquito.
She got it in Nebraska, but we get these alerts and warnings that like this part of the city
come on, mosquito girl. I got your guys' number. I was like, I didn't know they made one. I will. Thank you.
I don't know if it works, but I am a sucker for door-to-door marketing. I'll tell you
We're going to have so many bug zappers in the backyard. I ordered like 8 and I'm only going to put them in a 4-foot area. So I'm going to be like, kids, you've got a square to play in. And it's going to look like a Dance Revolution because it's going to be like...
Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to tent this whole son of a bitch just like they do on, like a...
I'm going to stay in here because I want to get
pool or something to keep all the crocs out. But I'm going to do it like I'm on safari. Where do they do that? Is that the Nile?
Oh, where they put on the tents?
Yeah, they put the like sleeping...
You mean our girl Gates who decided that she could take all of her billions and give malaria nets, and literally eradicated malaria because she's a mother. Can you make sure I said that right? Because I just want to make sure. But it was the Gates Foundation. Melinda Gates.
Well, she should be our hot flash for the day, man.
Let's make her our hot flash.
Hot flash, hot flash.
Also, Mrs. Bezos, Miss X Bezos,
Hello,
and Miss X Gates should get together.
I've never done that.
Not as
that
a relationship, just to
whatever you want.
Whatever you want, ladies, because all you do is give away lots and lots of money for goodness.
That's so awesome.
And your stupid ex-husband is flying a ship, and the other one is trying to figure out how to make mac and cheese.
You know what? I laugh at the midlife crises of super billionaires. It's so hilarious. Instead of like a Corvette, they're driving a spaceship. Come on.
Have at it and wear your dumb cowboy hat.
Yeah.
It makes me mad every time I order Amazon. I'm like, God But I just keep thinking they've got to have some sort of deal where she still gets funneled money. So I'm like, okay, fine. A little bit goes to Bezos, but a little bit goes to her. So
she knows where the bodies are buried. There's no way she's getting out. Like, she's got money.
Yeah,
she'll be fine.
And
forever,
speaking
right?
of this is a good segue. Have
yeah,
we
what
told
are we going to
people
talk
that we're
about?
hashtag IMOMSOHARD podcast?
Nope. Speaking of other financial Goliaths, IMOMSOHARD the podcast.
She's joking.
Rate,
in case
review.
We need to reiterate that.
Yeah.
She's joking.
If anybody would like to
all I do is complain about how much everything costs. It's like my favorite thing. I'm literally like, how are we still like, well, we can't get those movie tickets. Those are too expensive. Those are the fancy chairs.
Yeah.
Where is it where you just sit in a folding chair?
Well, I will say that we do have quote unquote representatives. And sometimes we're like, hey, would you reach out to this company that
and
we
see
both
if they
really
like
use?
us?
And they're like, no, they would like you to not mention them.
Yeah. That's how it mostly works for us.
Yeah.
Like, does somebody want us to post? Nope, they'll give you money to never mention their name.
You know what? They're going to send you free stuff, and please don't say anything.
Don't say anything. It's literally hush money. And you know what? Hey, brands, if you don't want us to talk about you, we will take your money.
Send us your
Lady
swag,
Bezos.
man.
Send us that scratch. We're real cheap. We're very cheap.
But do subscribe to our podcast, rate,
because we are trying to
we're just
keep
trying to
this
get
thing
a thing
afloat.
going. Come on. We want to be Bezos. Ladies.
What are you saying, Casey?
According to her website, over the past 2 decades, they have dramatically reduced the global burden of malaria. It is not done, but they have reduced it.
Okay, Casey, did you guys hear that? Can you hear that through the...
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to read it again. We got to get you a mic, Casey.
She reduced malaria.
Okay, let's just say this for you guys.
Let's not be picky, okay? She's done more than you guys have for malaria. Let's
just say, unless you've made over 1,000 nets, they're doing a great job.
Some of these moms do, though. You know, they're like, I've made 4,000
baby in 14 minutes. I'm competitive.
Oh, this reminds me.
She did not eradicate malaria. Their foundation over the last couple decades have severely punched a number in the malaria numbers and made it go lower. So we're going to give credit where credit's due. And both of those broads are now out and about, single ladies, not dealing with those men anymore. And you know what? God love them. I raise my glass to you, Lady Bezos and Lady Gates.
Good for them. Lucky it's them and not me, because I'd be online buying purses all the time. That does remind me of a thing, like ladies making nets, that kind of sets us up for what we were going to talk about today, Kristin, which I did this really horrible thing when Dash was born, which it was my first baby. It ended up being a C-section. I'd been in labor. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but
we will if you want us to.
Wait till I have a couple drinks and I will tell you the whole gruesome.
We've done that already on the I Give Birth So Hard podcast. So go back to that one.
So this is more about how I behaved as a human being after 3 days of not sleeping and having my uterus fall out of my body, which was the door of your recovery room, your hospital room after you have a baby, is a fucking clown car where one person keeps coming in after one person.
And they want you to sleep.
And they want you to sleep, but they also want you to take stuff. They want you to sign stuff. They want you to stand, sit, pee. Like insurance forms, like they're coming in for everything, to the point where I told my husband, I go, put a sign on the door, because if I don't get 10 seconds to sleep, I'll lose my mind. Like I'm trying to and I'm paying for this room. I know I'm paying a lot of money for this room. Keep people out.
I said the same thing so I could steal a bunch, but that's different.
I
was like, I look like I'm in a lot of pain, but I'm on my feet. Okay.
I'm at
stop, go.
St. John's Hospital, a religious place.
Not a lot of stuff there, by the way. We would have done also way better.
Going
at
straight to hell if you steal from there too. St. John's.
I'm Catholic. I'm owed. I'm part of that.
You can just admit that you did it.
They gave me the wrong birth certificate for my kid.
Ooh.
So I felt like I could take a couple magazines.
Yeah.
I was like, guys,
for the headache, don't you think?
My daughter's name is not James. So
these drawer pulls look sturdy.
Can you ask the other family that took home my daughter's birth certificate to get that back? P.S. I still don't have an official birth certificate for my daughter.
Wrong baby. Nice try.
Yeah. I know what I dealt with.
the one that sleeps.
Yeah. She looks like a little angel. This one is...
I'll love her the same, truth be told.
I am not Polynesian. Yeah. Let's...
You wish you were.
I wish I was.
You wish you had Polynesian babies. I know.
Yeah, they're so damn cute. I wish. There's no two, besides you and your husband, when my husband and I are like 50 Shades of White. I wish it was
there's nobody whiter than us.
Yeah, we're like second in line, but only because we have like a couple, like a little interesting like lineage on my husband's side and a little bit on mine that's like TBD that makes us look not super blonde and blue-eyed. Well, but my people are.
Yeah, you guys both have dark hair but light eyes.
Light eyes, yeah. And he has the pastiest, whitest skin that like does not have any form of tan.
I got blonde pubic hair. I don't.
Oh my! Yes, you do. What do you think? If you didn't, I'd be like, you're not a real blonde.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's not a situation. No. I know that. We can all agree that you blondes all have this
blonde pubic hair.
It's like not real.
Do you want me to ruin your day? Because I will. What are you talking about?
It's like a suggestion of pubic hair. Oh, look how Casey's so uncomfortable. Both blondes in this room. I'm like, it doesn't look like a Brillo pad. I'll tell you that.
What are you talking about? You have no knowledge of pubic hair. Somebody I considered an expert.
I'm an expert of my own.
It keeps you busy, though. You don't know what anybody else's is
like. Let me tell you something. Keep your eyes on your own business. And if your business is my business, you got time for nobody else. Okay? You got time for nobody else. You are dealing with your own thing. I just shaved the other day and I was like, how the fuck did I miss so much? Like, when did I wear a swimming suit last? I was in public. That is not cool. Oh. Somebody probably was like, oh, God.
I brought a razor out to my patio because it's the only place I can see it. Well, no,
That's smart.
Yeah, it's the only place because I go inside and I'm like, well, everything's gone. And then I go outside and I'm like, oh, he's just laying down.
I'm like, when did I put on socks? I'm like, oh, God. And also it's like creeping down onto my feet. I look like I'm like the missing link.
Someday I'm going to let it all go.
Oh, please. Then what? If I do that, you're going to be like, there's not enough room on this plane.
Okay, back to the
so our subject
in the hospital room.
Oh, yeah, clown car hospital room.
Well, this is what happened. I was so frustrated. I was so tired. I was so exhausted. People coming in, and I was like, I don't have this
especially when you're hurt.
Down. You're just so protective. And you turn into that mother hen thing when you have a baby. You're like, you don't even want anybody to hold the baby. You don't want anybody like breathing on it.
Oh, I was fine with that. I wasn't used to them being here. I was like, I don't know who you are.
This? You want to bring that thing
here? I'm in pain and I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is hard to get used to. Anyways, this woman came in and I said, she came in the door and I, for a second, did recognize, well, this is a sweet grandmotherly type. And I said, I'm sorry, did you not see the sign that my husband just hung up on the door? And she was like, oh, sorry about that. I'm with the volunteer group.
God.
Grandmothers with the hospital, and I wanted to give you this pair of booties and bonnet that we knitted for you.
Too.
And here is a, St. Christopher Michael, whatever, to be with your child for the rest of their life. I'm so sorry to bother you. Bye-bye.
I got the same one, except I gave it to you on accident, remember? And they put it in the
not that one. You gave me
the actual hospital one.
Yeah.
I got that one. I was like,
came in, couldn't be like the only person I wanted to have come in by the time she came in, but I didn't know who she was, and I was like, I am not writing my copay check right now. Get out, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And she was
I wanted the woman. I was like, you got the Percocet? Then I don't have anything to say to you.
I did have a nurse thing though. I had a nurse that wasn't good.
They're tough. They're just, it's like anything. When you've been around it a bunch, you stop like noticing that like it's somebody's first experience. I mean, think about that. Like, I don't care if you've delivered like 5 babies.
Get into orthopedics then, man.
I know. It's a tricky thing.
99.99999% of labor and delivery nurses are like the best humans ever.
That's who mine was.
You and I, okay.
Except St. John's, because my first hospital was UCLA.
It's not labor and delivery. It's after. What is that called?
Oh, it's not labor and delivery. It's called like postpartum care or something like that.
They're
not nice.
I don't know if she'd already put in her 2 weeks or what, but she was like, I got to make sure that you're not sharing these drugs with your husband. And I'm like, I'm not even taking the full amount, man.
I'm sharing these drugs with my friend. She just stopped by. She said she was going to see the baby. And then, I don't know, two left.
I'm scared of her, man. She's real twitchy.
My friend Kristin is rolling in, and she's never been in a better mood. So you should make her pee in a cup.
With those,
make her pee in a cup. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I know those are hard times.
But I didn't know who she was, and I took all my frustration out on her, so I feel bad.
That's why they're used to it, though. Like, I mean, that's why they're tough. They're like,
no, I'm not saying that nurse. I'm saying that old grandma.
I know.
If I see that chick in a dark alley, I'm like...
We've got words. She's going to see you, and she's going to be like, hey, remember me? I was on day 11 I gave my 2 weeks notice. Now we're going to fight.
Yeah,
I think I'd put money on you.
And I'm going to be like, well, I'm scrappy and I haven't been cut in half recently, so I think I'm ready to throw down.
And you've been doing yoga. You're like, I'm going to. Speaking of judging people, that's this whole conversation that we're going to have. And I have a story because I think
I haven't heard this, you guys. I don't know.
Just happened last night.
Ooh! Let's have a little accomplice rosé for this story. Feels like
so I am the first to admit when I like, there's so much about me that I would love to change and so many things that I think that I need to work on. And I think that I am at times like I will judge quickly because it makes me feel safe to have information, but it's just me judging. I put people in a box. I do. I wish I didn't.
As I was thinking about this topic, though, I was thinking how much more you will have a very strong opinion about somebody from the get-go, but you are so much more likely than me to change it or to go sweeter on them.
But then they always fuck me over, and then I'm like, yep, I was right.
Really?
I'm always right about that. My gut is never wrong. But my first impression and judgment, I think, are two different things.
Okay.
Like sometimes my ticker, I'm really swearing a lot.
Me too. Sorry. I don't know what.
So this is more about me just judging someone. Let me tell the story and I'll tell you what I did.
Okay.
All right. So we live in a really nice neighborhood and there was a brand new house across the street that was built and it's beautiful. It's literally
I love
beautiful from like head to toe. It's kind of my dream house. And to see this thing get built and meanwhile, we're in a pandemic and our house is like falling apart and we're like paying a high mortgage.
My
and
ice maker doesn't work.
Yeah, literally nothing works. Like it's embarrassing. Like stuff's put together with tape in some places. We're getting it. We're slowly putting it together. And I love my home, but I was like always looking at this house as it was getting built. And I was like, I would go by it like fully before they had their Ring apps and like go peek in and see, which was totally not okay.
See that resentful lady's back looking around.
Yeah, like why is she? She's so sourpuss. What's she doing? She doesn't know there's an app.
I don't think she likes their house very much.
God bless, it's beautiful. So they put it on the market. It sells right away. And like these two very fancy people move in and they're driving super fancy cars.
Oh boy.
And the woman gets out of her car and she's fit as a fiddle and she's got beautiful flowing hair and like she's really nice, by the way. She smiles at me.
She can at least
smiles
be
at me.
stupid.
And I think to myself, well, God, way to hit the lotto, you guys, with your cool cars and your nice personalities and your awesome house. Yeah. So I like wave
I'll
at him.
just be over here fighting with my husband.
My husband's like yelling through the house, like swearing and sweating through his shirt. And I'm like, God bless. You know, they're really classy and I haven't met them yet. So I'm just seeing them from afar. We go on a million dog walks and I see them and they've got a new golden doodle and like our dogs are like crapping in someone's yard and like yelling. I'm yelling at a kid and they walk by and they wave. And again, I'm like, I'm not judging them. I'm just like, boy, they have it all together. They've got this fancy house and these fancy cars and like things are hard on us and kids are home and blah, blah, blah. Woe is me. Like, whatever. So I go and I'm outside. Oh God, I'm outside playing my guitar. And I'm outside playing my guitar, Jen, because I'm trying to do this thing where
we all know they're gonna have a sick kid or something, right?
Listen, if I'm outside playing my guitar and I'm taking it out on the guitar, I feel like at some point I will become like a songwriter, like
front yard or backyard?
Front yard.
How dare you?
Front yard.
Kristin?
I'm front yard playing. Okay. I'm front yard playing my guitar, not well.
Find out what their podcast is, Casey. I need to hear what the other side of this story is.
I have 2 songs that I know how to play. Ours, which is only 4 chords, and Stand By Me, which I don't do well. No.
You know how to play.
I know how to play 11 songs, none well and none memorized. 2 memorized. So they're like, she only plays 2 songs. Meanwhile, they're across the street and they're so nice and they wave and I'm like, I wave and I'm like, oh, life's easy. Yeah. And then last night I'm watching this guy and these 2 kids come up and like not panhandle. They're always selling stuff, like in those. I know they pocket the cash, but they're always like,
you want to buy some chocolate bars for my football
team? I'm like, yes, I do. Fine.
I always do.
Yeah. So
but then I say to him, I'm like,
don't come back.
Remember me? I'm going to give you $20. I don't even want the candy bars.
Just don't come back here.
Don't ask me again.
Yeah. So I watch this guy. He gives these guys money. I'm like, well, that's nice. And he's like fit as a fiddle. I'm like, God. So then I look over and I wave again and then I just start watching, not like a creeper. I'm playing a couple chords to give it a little something.
Not like a creeper, but
no, I'm on the G chords. I'm just strumming same chord over and over.
So creepy.
And then his wife comes out and she doesn't have her wig on and she has no hair.
Oh.
And I realize like she's in full-blown chemo. Yeah. And I knew looking at her, and I realized that why they've been a little to themselves is because she's immunocompromised and she's in the thick of it. And so then I literally put my head down and I go, God, Kristin. I like audibled it and I go,
Kristin, idiot. So, and they're like, do you feel like the lady across the street's a little scary? We moved across from the deliverance lady. She's out like swearing at herself and rocking.
Damn it, Kristin! Damn it! And they're like, what is wrong with her? She only plays 4 chords on the guitar.
Hitting
is she
herself
okay?
now with the guitar? What is... I don't feel safe here, dear. Get the doodle and let's leave. Let's go back to our old...
I just beat through my jumpsuit. I gotta cross my legs. So I feel as bad as I've ever felt. I was like, God, Kristin, what the F is your issue? So I like beeline it to my office. I put the guitar down. I keep the pick just in case they ask if I play. But I hightail it across the street and I introduce myself. And she was just walking in. So I walked across the street. And by the way, not hard on the eyes. If I'm just going to say my first assessment was accurate. He's fit and handsome.
Oh, I thought you were saying her. And I'm like, man, some
she's
people
fit
look great
and
with
beautiful.
I know.
And but she walked inside and she was on a call. They're from England. And so she was on a call with her mom. And he was as nice as they come. And even said, this was, they obviously, no one plans on cancer. And so this came out of nowhere and they had bought this home and they were really excited to even with the pandemic, be neighborly. And they had to even be more quarantined.
Yeah.
Because she's going to go into this big chemo trial in 5 weeks. So they got to keep everybody clear. But it just was a good reminder to me that I might think everybody else has it easier than me or woe is me. And that's okay. Sometimes to feel like things are tough, that gives credence to your own situation. But you can very quickly check yourself and be like, all right, this is your opportunity to about face. And I learned a quick lesson there that it was everybody puts their pants on the same way, one leg at a time. And you don't know what everybody's going through. So
right.
Default to being light or kind. I just am mad at myself that I had figured them out so quickly and I didn't know anything about them. And so I was like, well, now I'm going to be an aggressive friend and I'm going to come on strong. I'm going to play my guitar. He didn't ask if I didn't play. That's my only criticism is as I was showing I was going to say well, I'm a musician, but I didn't because it's not technically a lie because we did
finger cymbals thing, right?
No, the pick. You're, you got the pick and you're playing with it. And he's like, oh, do you play? And I'm like, okay. You heard me, right? 4 chords. Have you ever heard a stronger G chord? I can't do the C chord. That's why I don't do it.
You ever heard the song "Every Rose Has Its Thorn," sir?
Oh God, I'm peeing so much. What is wrong with my bottom? You guys, it's all happening. So my point is I was I remember looking at her being like, God, she's so fit and she's so pretty and she's in this beautiful house. And then I was like, oh man, here she's going through all this shit and I'm an asshole.
Let's break this down a little bit though. How much were these thoughts permeating your
in a millisecond as I walked by them?
Okay, so I mean, everybody does that. That's like an animal thing.
Is it?
If you're
to look at somebody's better house and be like, I want to live there.
Yeah. Or
literally, maybe by myself.
Okay, let me tweak it a little bit. You can have the thing of well, that's a nice house. I would like to live in that house. Or I should have that house. They shouldn't have that house kind of deal.
I was somewhere in the middle there.
Okay. Well,
and I didn't mean it like that. I was just
I think that's, it's natural reaction. You know what? It's wonderful that they're nice because you know what? They might not have been because not nice people get cancer too. And you have to be compassionate. And you have to be kind and care for where they're at. But it doesn't mean that you have to be their best friend,
Right.
So hopefully they're going to be like lifelong neighbors, friends, like a good long existence. But, we live in a big city where people steal your wallet when you're walking your dog. So it's like you kind of get on guard a little bit, which it's nobody's best self, but you shouldn't feel that bad about it. You corrected the thing right away.
I think that's the takeaway is that I was like, all right, Hensley, like, this isn't you. Like, you're someone who... like, you never care about I don't know what the word is. Like, what is it in Christianity when they're like, don't covet thy neighbor's goods or something like that? I was coveting because I freaking love.
Sometimes you do covet the neighbor's wife, and that's okay.
Wait, what's that? Wait, covet, like to want? Covet. To want? I did. I was like, this is a really beautiful, like, fresh, modern farmhouse build that, like, is really expensive, and our house is falling apart. I want to be in there. What do you do for a job, sir? Like, but at the end of the day, I think it was a good reminder that, like, the most important thing is, like, your day to day. And, like, I'm always going to be nice, even if it's not super nice, but I'm going to be nice. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to judge you harshly at first, but in my head, not out.
But do you think that's who I am normally? Do you think I'm judgmental, like, from I think I can be.
I think you have an opinion about
everything.
Everybody as soon as you meet them. But that's
accurate.
I think it will change. Whereas,
you do?
Yeah. I think quite frequently, even if you think that they're great sometimes, like the shine wears off. Or even if you think like, I don't know, they're up to something. You're like, nah, I had it misjudged. They have this going on or whatever.
But then did they come back and wrong me? Because that's usually what happens. I'm like, I'm pinging. I don't get a good sense of them. And then I'm like, no, they're okay. And then they do something wrong. I was like, see what I mean?
Well, because I was thinking about this. I feel like I have two, like, metaphysical, like, spiritual gifts, and one of them is knowing all of the pop lyrics to songs from 1980 to 1995. I just know them all. I don't know why.
You do. You and your brother are the same.
And then I
know not one lyric.
I feel like my first impression is right when I meet people. It very rarely changes, and I'm not saying that's a good thing, because I think what I do is I will hold most people at an arm's length. I think
you do that.
I think I'm a little hard because I'm like, well, you might be good, you might be bad, but I'm just going to keep you where you're safe no matter what you end up being, kind of.
And do you think that I bring people into the fold?
Yeah. I
do?
I think you.
I like that,
you fall in love. It's nice. No, it's
I do fall in love.
You fall in love quick with people, and then I think that's the reason why if they do you wrong, then you turn on them, because you love people quickly at first. And I'm always like, I think everyone's fine.
I think that's accurate, because you keep people in your circle, but you only let a few into your circle. Yeah. I think I get weird because I will have an instinct about someone, and I'll be like, I'll side eye, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening right now. I can't articulate it, but I don't like this person, or I have a bad feeling about this person, or weird, I may have made out with this person. I can't remember. Yeah. I'm having a flashback about this person.
There's more times than I've ever been able to count.
There's one time I was like working at, I forgot, like, a restaurant job, and I saw this guy, and I was like, I think we made out. I can't remember.
God, isn't that the worst?
Do I like him, or do I hate him, or how did it end? I don't remember. Did it begin? I don't know. But I do have a very strong instinct about people, and sometimes it's just a feeling, so I don't know if it's a good or a bad. But like, and then once I've made up my mind, I'm done for. Like, if I have made up my mind that a person is, there's no chance of them being good, I have no tolerance, and that is a Dewey Hensley quality.
I don't.
Do you think I'm like that?
I don't think I'm like that way. I think I'm that way, and I wish that I weren't, because you're like, man, I just feel like you. Maybe it's like you have a. I'm trying to think of somebody in specific. I think that you do have a big grace for people.
You do?
I mean, it's a pendulum swing.
That's good, because I'm so hard on myself about it.
I think that
my marriage counselor says I'm brutal. And you're not allowed to be brutal.
Well, if somebody's on the wrong side of that swing, then you might be brutal to them. But I think that Jen, you're going to come back and love them way hard, too.
Do you think they're like being nice to me if I'm on the end of the brutal stick? The other side's being brutal too. Have you met my husband? Shit.
But I mean, you have so many friends that you've had for like ever.
Forever.
And maybe you've like been close, gotten further away, been close, gotten further away.
Yeah, I have a hard time sort of like, I think it takes a lot for me to go, this friendship has run its course. I mean. Yeah. It is no longer.
And I'm like this. I'm a Leo. I'm like, they just died last night in my head. Yeah. I don't ever need to call them ever again.
Oh, I'm the opposite. I'm like, you know what? We've said some harsh things. Mostly you. You said, but we're going to forgive each other because I can't have this kind of turbulence in my life.
Kristen's like, I'm going to fixate on how I did it. It's my fault.
Yeah.
But
and then it's all my fault. I'm going to call and I'm going to demand that I apologize.
I had this thing that was a real epiphany that somebody, I don't even know where I heard it, probably one of my self-help groups or something like that from my mid-20s, but I remember hearing like,
oh my God, you did self-help in your 20s?
Oh my God.
What the fuck is the point of your 20s?
Oh,
you're supposed to self-help because of your 20s.
Had I not been in self-help, I would have been dead, I'm pretty sure,
oh,
Kristen.
No.
I mean, like, I partied hard for sure, but I
with the self-help group, I hope.
Couple.
It's called a softball team.
I just remember learning this thing that like, no, mine was not called a softball team.
Yeah, mine was. Super good time. What's up?
Meet at the Green Onion and have like doubles for half price. Okay. I remember this thing that like really changed my life. This saying, and there's like a handful of them.
Jen loves these.
You might have heard. I really do, and I remember them forever. Dare you to say something poignant around me because I
only remember half quotes.
What people think of you is none of your business.
Oh, I like that. Wait, hold on. What people think of you
is none of your business.
So I'm not supposed to make what people think of me my business?
Yeah.
Have you met me?
It's not for you to worry about.
Well, have you met me?
Vice versa.
Have you met me? I know. All of that is literally, why don't you just disassemble my personality?
It goes
I'm defined by the approval that other people give me.
It goes in both directions, though. It's freeing to say like, oh yeah, because it hurts when somebody gives an opinion, but at the end of the day, you kind of don't fucking care unless they hit on something that's true. And then how much can you really hate them?
True. Well, a lot, but I always depends. If they say something true and I don't know them or like them, then I really don't like them. But if they say something and I'm defensive, I always take a minute because I'm always like, if you feel defensive, there's something true in it. Because if you're like, somebody says something to you and it's literally, there's nothing foundational about it, you're kind of like, what? You're aloof in a way that is all the power.
I do say things that I don't care about and then realize that other people care about them. And then I'm kind of like, really?
No, you're the like most, you're not measured, but I don't think you're somebody who, I've only seen you hot-headed like 3 times. Maybe even 2 times. Wait, was one of those my time?
Neither one of us were sober, if that's all you remember. I don't know. I think I get hot-headed. I just have like 2 speeds though.
I've only seen you I saw you get really hot once, and your tiny body threw a chair across the floor. Across the room. Yeah. And I've never seen anything like it. And I was like totally impressed because I kind of didn't know if you had it. I was like, I know she's from Bellevue, so bitch is like, I know she's tough. Like, but you picked up this chair and threw it, and I was like, okay,
God bless the Bellevue girls too.
Oh my God, the tough is the best kind of tough.
Oh my God, they're so tough too.
But they're also love you tough.
So love you tough. Yeah, absolutely.
Country tough.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what I know is country.
Yeah.
Like you might be at a bar and you're having the most loving conversation, and then one of your friends is like, hold on, I gotta go punch somebody. Like, it's just how it is.
I don't like the way that this guy's looking at you, and I'm gonna go over to him and I'm gonna threaten his body physically and make sure that if he looks at you like you're a burrito, I'm gonna punch his
and then
burrito.
I'm gonna come back and ask you to order those earrings for me on Etsy because I can't remember where I found them.
So I started this new essential oil shop that I want
you guys. I'm selling some essential oils. Hold on, I'm gonna go beat this guy's ass.
A thing that you're good at that I'm not as good at is you know what you feel like in that moment. Like, you know that you have a strong reaction to something. Yeah. And sometimes for me, it will take me from Tuesday to like next Sunday to figure out like, you know what? I think they were being rude in that moment. Like, now that I've taken away every other possible scenario, I think that was not a nice thing. And like, I'm almost like too slow on the uptake on stuff, which I wish I could speed up a little bit.
Nope, I don't like her. Nope, yep, I like her. Yep, I like her. Yep. Yeah, she can come to Thanksgiving, not her.
I just wasn't. I was, you know what, Kristin, if I had a nickel for every time she was like, you know what, I was just hungry. I was just hungry.
I know, I was hungry. If that isn't I should be so skinny. I am so driven by like, when I have meals, like I am never going to be that person that's like, you guys, you know what we should do? Just skip a couple meals on Tuesdays so we what are you talking? I will kill someone. Like, but I can't deal with it.
Dewey says, don't do any halt. Say what that is, because I love it. I tell my kids this. Don't make
any moves of any sort if you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired.
Oh, God, that's 2020 for the whole wide world.
Every time I write an email, I'm like, how do I feel? Am I hungry? Maybe I need a granola bar. Do I still feel the same way? I sure do. And then I send it, and it's thoughtful. And like, he's right, because like, if you are someone who's inclined to have these like knee-jerk reactions, and by the way, it really comes down to, what do you always say? Like, we always feel this, it's like these root, which is also a term in guitar. It's a root feeling of being either frightened or sad. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
I also believe that one should be added, which I do believe is joy. Like,
it is. It's two things. It's fear and love are the two main feelings you can have.
Because I do believe, like, when I think about that, like when I'm really mad, which I can get mad, I'm like, am I mad or am I hurt? Am I mad or am I frightened? And then the second I do that, my lip starts going and I'm like, ah! And then I'm walking around in my yard yelling at myself, damn you, Kristin.
What did you look at her hair? She doesn't have any hair, you bastard.
Why?
Yeah.
Gosh. The Lord is watching you.
Well, here's the other funny thing about first impressions. And I want you to think about this for a second. You don't have to even believe me. But there's somebody in your neighborhood who's like, I always see this dark-haired woman walking around with her dogs, and she's always laughing and talking to. Sometimes she's giving people the side eye. I don't know what that's about. Maybe she's having a bad day or she's gassy. Sometimes she's out playing her guitar. How cool is that? And everybody's playing basketball at her house, and there's always people there, and it's a fun party. And I'm really jealous of her.
Sure, okay. And then they're like, and as I'm thinking this, she's yelling at me to get off the curb because it's
she's
Ben's
so judgmental.
But she's so perspective is a very strong tool.
Yeah.
My mother, I have to give her credit, which I do rarely. But I have to say, Terry, my mom, this really bugs my kids, by the way. I always refer to her as Terry. And I do that because I'm being a smartass. Mm-hmm. But my kids do not like it. They're like, she's your mom. And then my mom's like, that's right. I am her mother. And I'm like, okay, Terry. And then they're like, they don't like it that I call, because I would say my dad, or then I call him Dewey. But to my mom, I say Terry a lot. So Terry was, a teacher my whole life, and she taught special ed. And I one time said not a nice thing about one of her students. And because I was so young and I was so dumb, and I said, like, I was in her special ed room and I knew the kids there struggled with learning. And I needed to write a note on the chalkboard because I was there after school before we went home. I was like, I used to say, I'm on the pot, because I didn't know how to spell bathroom.
That's what you say. That's a Nebraska thing. Yeah.
I'm on the pot.
Yeah.
And so my mom was like, can you say bathroom? So I was trying to spell bathroom. So I must have been like first grade, like very young. And one of her students said, it's all one word. And I said, how would you know you have a hard time spelling? Like, I said the meanest thing, but it was also from a place of like, but I know you guys have a hard time learning. And my mom heard it and lost her mind, but she did the smartest thing. She goes, you're going to come and do quiet reading with my students, and you're going to do it every day, and you're going to be a part of our conversation, because I could read it kind of at some of the levels that they were reading. And it literally like started my compassion flame that I was like, oh, I can fully see now what I did and why that would hurt someone's feelings. And I think what she did is she taught me, like, the second you think you have it so tough, and you might have it really tough.
Sure.
But if you help somebody or do something outside of yourself, it shifts your perspective no matter what. So I always am like somebody that's like trying to because it's been a really hard last couple of years. And I'm give myself, what is it that gets me out of this? Like, is it helping someone else? Is it watching something silly? Is it like finding a way to laugh? Like, do I need to go on a walk? Whatever. And I think we all have those things. But she taught me very quickly that you have to activate those things. Otherwise you can kind of go down a spiral.
You got to exercise them too.
Because then you also think you have so much, like, if things are sad or you're grieving or you do have something really terrible that's going on with you, that it's so terrible that it's insurmountable. And what's nice to know, and why our mom crowd is so great, is there's no thing that you've been through that there isn't somebody else out there that has also been through. But you don't know that unless you share it.
I think what we've all tried to teach Kristin now is
to play the guitar.
Even if you are a blonde, you do have
pubic hair.
Dark, excessive pubic hair.
I'm going to say I don't believe
easy
you.
to manage. It
I'm
going to
say this.
Kristin.
I'm going to say blondes have it easier in the pubic hair space. And I'm just going to say that. I'm going to say that as a judgmental person of the Czechoslovakian descent.
We will work on this.
And to my neighbors, I want to say, I love you. We don't know each other yet. I don't even know your last name, but I'm across the street, and
you got a new stalker.
Let me know if you need help. A regular presence in your home.
I can I say one other stupid thing that I love that I've heard over the years and years, which is that okay, you picture or think of like from a movie, from a TV, or somebody you've met, like that has like the worst story you've ever heard.
Yeah.
That has like some sort of like terrible existence that you can't believe they ever survived. Whatever. Yeah. Like Anne Frank, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like
the worst.
The worst story you can think of. There's someone on earth who had it 10 times as bad.
Is that supposed to make me feel better?
It's supposed to give you perspective. Because that's true. There's somebody who has like lived their life pretty much in suffering. However,
that means there's somebody that has it 10 times better.
That person has made the decision to be happy each day.
Yeah.
Or to try to be happy.
Well, they're better than me. Okay. They're better than me. And I am a shallow fucking human. Okay. So well done, Jen. Thank you. I'm working on myself. Isn't that the thing we're supposed to say?
I didn't win. I didn't win here, you guys.
You guys, you got to see this house. It's really nice.
It really is a nice house.
And they bought it top of the market. Just saying. Our house is falling apart. Should we go to a mom box?
Yes. Yeah.
Let's go to a mom box. This is from Dana. I can barely read it. Where are your bifocals?
My readers? Here.
Well, those are not. I can't just wear your regular.
No, hold on. There's a pair of.
Wait, are these just readers?
Those are readers.
Are these Brits?
Okay, no, they're mine.
This does not look like. This is literally nothing.
Hold on. I have a much cooler
makes
pair
my
that
eyes
work better.
Worse.
Wait, where are the black ones?
I don't know. You'd have to find them through the weird, ironic dice.
They're from the dollar store.
I don't know. What are these?
Those are dominoes.
Are these from Superman's?
Here. Those are readers.
You know what this looks like? It looks like the weird thing that like priests give out the host, even though I can't remember.
Why don't you try and eat
it? Wow, look at that.
Those glasses look great on you.
These is so, can we find, where did you get these? I need those.
Austin, you can have them.
Wait, what?
They're Austin. You can have them. I need my bifocals.
These makes my readings. Can I please have them?
You can have them.
They're so clear.
Yeah.
Jesus. It's not my fault. From Dana. Hey, beautiful mama. I don't know if you remember me. Well, yes, I do. Start out like that. But a couple of years ago, you gave my friend and myself tickets to your show in Atlanta. Still by far the best night ever. That's where we played 3,000.
Oh, yeah.
Where I took that picture. It was so awesome.
Continental seating.
Okay.
It's hard if
you
have to pee.
By far the best night ever. Wanted to know when you are all coming back. Oh, man, we're trying. Maybe we can meet y'all again. I finally finished college at 33 years later and started my career as an orthopedic nurse. So I'm sure I can buy my own tickets this time.
God bless you, girl.
And then I was bawling and I was like, nope, we're going to buy the tickets for you because you still deserve a high five and you could literally be Jeff Bezos. And we're like, we're going to give you tickets. I'm still living in the same fucking house that's falling apart, but God bless you in all of your endeavors. It's just like God, it's never too late, and also it's always hard, but it's also worth it.
God bless you.
I just love it. I love the idea that like in the time we've known her, she's been at nursing school, and now she gets to be like an orthopedic nurse, which is...
God, I sound like a broken record, but here's another one.
Oh, God. Here we go. More self-help quotes.
I know, but,
I know sports metaphors.
You can go back to school to get a master's because it's going to, everybody gets scared because it's going to take 2 years.
Or 4.
And Jenny said, you know what, 2 years is going to go by anyway.
I love that idea.
It's going to happen.
Well, I did that, except I didn't take my state boards because I was overwhelmed.
I'll have you know, as she's telling the story, she's got my readers on, very Rick Moranis looking. It's Ghostbusters right now.
You know, some people take compliments and some people say that you look like Rick Moranis.
Are you the gatekeeper, Kristin?
You know what? You know what? I'm just going to go Zulu.
Oh, I think we podcasted.
Cheers, podcast.
Cheers. Woo!